Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about a question that one of my viewers had, and it was a really good question about the PSP. And he's running really old firmware, custom firmware, and his question was, hey Robles, should I upgrade to the latest even though my PSP is working just fine? And he was running a few apps, a few emulators that were working okay with that firmware, but he wanted to add some more things to it, and some games weren't working. So why should you upgrade? What are the benefits of upgrading to 6.61 or 6.60? Those are the two best firmwares out there today, and I wanted to talk about that in this video. When it comes to running that old firmware, you're not going to be able to use anything updated or anything new, right? You have to be on the latest firmware because that's what those developers are working on. They're working on the latest and greatest firmware that gets rid of so many bugs, and that's one of the key things to upgrading on the latest firmware, is to avoid all these bugs, all these glitches, all these different issues and problems, because we all know Homebrew does not run perfectly. So we want to be at the latest, we want to be at the best firmware possible, and updating all of our emulators to the latest releases. That way we don't have issues while we're gaming or going through whatever we're doing on our PSP, and we don't come across those issues. Now for me, I was really stuck on 6.60, and it was working just fine for me. I love 6.0 Pro C2, but I was having a lot of issues with some custom themes. Now there's a bunch of new dynamic themes that were recently released, and they have some really cool designs and really cool colors. And on 6.60 I was missing a lot of those colors, and so one viewer mentioned to me, hey, you should upgrade to 6.61 and you can get all those colors and just have the best experience with your custom themes. And that's the only way. Some of these dynamic themes, which are incredible, they just look so awesome, even though most of them are like anime, but you can always change the wallpaper like I did here with this All Might. It's another anime, but it's one that I recognize and I'm a big fan of. So this is one of the coolest themes that I have ever seen, and it's super clean, super slick. And that's one of the things I really love about the PSP, is just the custom themes. When you're upgrading to those updated firmwares, you do come across problems where you can't even use some of the older themes because they just no longer support that. But they have created this really cool application that allows you to convert your old themes to the new version, which is pretty slick. And I'll have everything that I talk about in the description down below if you're interested. I did create a tutorial or a guide on how to convert your old themes to work on the latest firmware. So back to 6.60, I did download these dynamic themes and they were not working, and I wasn't getting colors. So that's another reason why you should upgrade to the latest, to have a better experience and to have some of the latest and greatest stuff on your console. Another thing to keep in mind is the PS1 games. A lot of them will not work with some of the older stuff, and you have to find a firmware that actually works good. And I did create a tutorial which is on an application or a plugin that is called Pops Loader, and it allows you to select an older firmware to run your PS1 game. So if you did have a PS1 game that was running perfectly on, like, let's say 5.00, you can actually go back to that firmware, use that firmware, and play your games. You don't have to be running everything on 6.61. And finally, the last reason you should upgrade to the latest firmware is that you never know when something new is going to come along, more optimized, more better for that firmware. And we just got done with a PSP conference this year. I live streamed it. I'll have that in the description down below for you, where they talked about all sorts of different things that they're going to be working on for the PSP. And I'm so excited. We don't know when this stuff is going to be released, but make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. And so that is another reason why you should always update to the latest, because there's going to be hungry developers or someone who is very passionate about the homebrew scene and wants to join in and work on something that wasn't really fully finished or fully developed, and want to finish it off and want to just bring back some, or an old developer just brings back their old work and try to do the best they can to update it to the latest firmware, which I've seen many times, where a developer, he made this really cool app where it allowed you to sort through your games, delete them, and all sorts of stuff like that. So he did an update not too long ago, and you could see in his post that he was like, hey guys, I've been gone for a long time, but I want to update this and make it the best I can for this console because I still love it. So I believe there's always going to be someone passionate out there that's going to be developing new stuff for the PSP and also for the PS Vita. So I wanted to do a quick vlog and just talk about that. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section if you want me to talk about another topic like this throughout the week and just have some fun and just get to know your guys' questions, get to know any problems that you're having, and just answer them here on the channel on a video like this. So thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoy my content, please hit that subscription button here on my face and that notification bell so you don't miss a video in the future. And if you're looking for PSP content, I have that playlist right here for you, and PS Vita content right down below, that full playlist. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.